Hey guys, it's Ingrid. Welcome back. It's February. What? That's right. I'm so sorry I missed January, but look, Michael and I were in Europe, so I have a good excuse, I promise. It was a very sudden trip, so all my planning kind of fell to the wayside, and here's where I got my inspiration for February. I jumped right back in. Look at all this amazing inspiration. These types of places just really fuel me. And I took all of this goodness and kind of put it into 1 month. And I really love how this turned out. I think you're going to like it too. So let's dive right in. We're going to jump right back into it. And I'm going to show you how I planned my January in my Canvo bullet journal, as well as do a little bit of February, which I'm just catching up on right now. You can see here I've pulled off the ribbon. I know, some of you are crying, I'm sure. The rest of you are going, oh, thank God. I found that I wasn't using it as much, so I decided, hey, you know, that's the whole point of a bullet journal. It's a process. So we got rid of it. Now let's jump right back in, and I'm going to show you kind of what I did in December. You can see that I added a lot of color. I like to use colored pencils, and I just kind of had a lot of fun with it because I left so unexpectedly. I didn't really fill it out the way I had intended. So I have kind of some blank pages. You can see I didn't really get a chance to fill out my mood page completely. I did, however, do the habit tracker all the way through the end of the month. I was very proud of myself for that. I'm still working on filling in that page. I love that page. Aren't those leaves incredible? You can see those are the pencils that I take with me. I use Arteza colored pencils. I like them. They're just nice, you know, pretty decent grade colored pencil. And here's January. Didn't really do a whole lot. I kind of came into it partway through the month. I started on the 12th. You can see I didn't even do it in pen yet. Just kind of really, I doodled a couple snowflakes and kind of created a couple pages, and I was so busy that I didn't even get to finish it. Did, however, do the habit tracker, believe it or not, from start to finish. I actually did that. I did kind of like a condensed version, and you're getting a glimpse into some March florals. I already have my March almost completely drawn out, so here's my February, and you can tell that I was a little bit inspired by Europe. We spent our final day of our month-long trip was in Paris, and so on my way home on the plane, I decided to draw the Eiffel Tower from one of the photos that I had on my phone, and there was my inspiration. Since Valentine's Day is this month, I don't usually celebrate it, but you know, it did kind of spark a little bit of romanticism for me, so why don't we dive right into it? Here I have my food pen, and you know, it was really funny. It's been a while since I wrote this out. I wrote this out, like I said, on the plane, and that was several weeks ago. And all of a sudden I got a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie, lettering does make me a little nervous right now still. I'm still learning it. I was thrilled with how my February turned out in pencil on my page. And so I was like, okay, well, let's just grab a piece of scrap paper and let's get to this. So I'm gonna leave this real time so you can see how I actually draw this. And I'm going over my lines. And I will not lie, I was definitely a little nervous, and you can see that in my pen strokes. And I tried to just kind of calm myself down. The candle was really giving me some really nice scents in the room. It's a Gold Canyon candle, and I love their scents, really nice and clean scents. And you can see still a little hesitation in the strokes, and that's okay. It's really not that big of a deal. This is my journal. This is just for me. It's not like this is a piece of artwork that I'm selling or anything like that. I am such a perfectionist. Are you too? If you are, tell me in the comments. You know, I'm sure I'm not alone. But, you know, ultimately this turned out really great, and I ended up going back over it, kind of doing that faux hand lettering where, you know, those downstrokes, that's where you can thicken those. And this pen is really great for that, or not pen, it's a marker. It's kind of a little bit soft tipped, but yet it's firm at the same time, which really doesn't even make sense now that I say that out loud. But it's really good for this type of lettering, and it's very comfortable in my hand. I'm still kind of getting used to it. I did end up coming in and thickening this up a little bit. And so now I'm taking out the Calendar and Boxes stencil by Catherine Pooler, and this thing is awesome. I love this little calendar right here because, again, perfectionist. So, you know, to fill one of these out, and you'll see I'll do this super, super quick, but it's so nice to be able to line this up and really kind of get that everything written in there. Now, again, I was a little nervous for some reason. I think it was because I was filming it. It's been a while since I filmed a video, and I got nervous for you guys. I hope that's okay. I really care about the product that I put out for you. So I was a little nervous. So my numbering was a little rickety, which was kind of weird. I'm not usually like that, but it just goes to show you that I'm human too. So as you can see, I already started to go over my Eiffel Tower sketch, and I really love how this turned out. I wasn't really going for a 100% accurate drawing. I tried to be, you know, capture the spirit of it, I should say. And I think I did that, and my whole goal was to kind of give it a little bit of a realistic look, but then, you know, just to go over it with some colored pencils and just kind of capture that warm, romantic kind of feel that the Eiffel Tower gives you. I loved being in Paris and looking at it. My husband and I, you know, we own a travel agency, and we were doing a bunch of Facebook Lives and YouTube videos for our travel agency, and we did several with the Eiffel Tower behind us, and I took some amazing photos, and I just was really inspired. And so when I was on the plane, I couldn't think of anything else that I wanted to do for February. And you know, that's really what this is all about. You know, for me, my journal is a way of sharing my art, you know, with you, but also kind of capturing what's going on and what's pertinent to me at that moment. So this was even though this was just one day out of a full month of traveling for us, you know, it obviously made a very big impact on me. The entire day did, as you will see as we continue. So since I'm doing some bare branches, because when I was in Paris, it was January and it was very cold, and there were no leaves on the trees, I decided that I'm just going to really kind of reflect that in this drawing. So I'm using my dark brown Micron, which is an 01. I wish I had one that was a little thicker. I don't even know if they have ones that are a little thicker, but it worked. And I didn't want these to be black. I wanted them to be slightly different because I'm going to go over them with pencil, and I feel like sometimes when I use dark brown pencil, I prefer that I don't have black underneath it. But I love how it turned out, and I also ended up adding some curly, you know, kind ofness to the trees at the bottom, which is, well, not what I did in pencil, which was interesting. So getting rid of all my eraser marks really quickly. I don't know what I would do without my Staedtler white eraser. I have like 5 of them in my office. I use them all. I love them, and they have to all be clean. I'm always rubbing them off, making sure that I get rid of all the black on them. I even spent some time cleaning mine the other day. I love those erasers. So here I'm taking my Arteza colored pencils, and I really love these pencils. The colors are really great. I feel like they have a really nice punch to them. And I you know, the names are starting to wear off for me on the pencil. I've been using them now for several months, and I wish that didn't happen, but you know, it is what it is. At least the barrel of the pencil is the color, which is very helpful for me. And you can see here I'm using a lighter gray first to kind of go over all my lines. I didn't want to just color the whole thing in because that's not how the Eiffel Tower is in real life. You know, it's a structure with stainless steel, but you can see through that part where there's gaps. So I love how this turned out. I hope you do too. I added some dark charcoal as well, and I think the end result was actually really nice. So now that we have our title page done, we're going to move on to our first 2-page spread, and this is really my monthly spread. And these 2 pages, for me, they serve the purpose of having a general calendar as well as getting a glimpse into the March calendar. I have a place to set some goals, track my social stats. I've added a little Instagram tracker in there too, and for me, you know, Michael and I were also trying to build our travel channels, and we're just starting those, so I definitely want to kind of track the progress on those. as well as just kind of have a notes section on the other side. So I'm doing a little bit of hand lettering, and those two went a little smoother for me. I calmed down a little bit, and now that we've been filming for a while, as well as a little bit of print in there, just really trying to keep it simple. I wish that when I was doing the actual March calendar on the other side that I had thought, I didn't really have the idea to move it up higher onto the page. I wish I had. And then just some very simple shading with some pencils, just trying to keep things very simple. I wasn't trying to get too complex. I felt that the drawings, I wanted them to kind of shine, and sometimes I think simplicity works really well. Love that little tiny grid. Now I definitely wrote my numbers a little smaller this time using my handy dandy little tiny 6-inch ruler that I love to do my little calendars with. It's perfect for the Canvo pages. You know, they're 7 inches wide, so this little 6-inch ruler serves my purpose. And I was very proud of myself. I remembered where to put all my lines on this, and just did some very simple kind of sketchy lines around the boxes. I really didn't want to clutter everything up with too much, and I seem to be doing that a lot with this particular 2-page spread. I like to just kind of have those general lines around, just kind of creating a box which kind of draws me into that section a little bit, I find, and not really doing a whole lot else, so that it's not necessarily needing to be perfect. I had some little extra sketchy lines and dots. So for our first 2-page weekly spread, I just kind of went with something that I love about France in general, and actually a lot of Europe, but Paris especially, is a lot of this like wrought iron, you know, on balconies and doorways, and it's just beautiful. It's kind of like that old chateau castle feeling, and I kind of did kind of one of those little, I don't even know what you would call this in the corner. If you have an idea, tell me in the comment section below. And then at the very bottom of the pages, I just kind of did a pattern, you know, that I might see, for instance, in a balcony or something around a window or some sort of a treatment. And it would have been in, you know, wrought iron, or maybe it was a gate or a fence or something. So just kind of did random patterns, not random, but, you know, the same repetitive pattern, and just kind of connected it and did a line on the top and bottom. And I did this on both pages, and that just really left me with a classic look. And I'm going to color it in with some colored pencils. And this is actually going to have 10 days on this 2-page spread. You know, it's a weird month. It's 28 days, and I'm actually, surprise, going to be doing some more traveling. So I needed to kind of condense everything this month. So I decided to do 3 2-page spreads for my February, and that's going to house all of my, you know, weekly spreads, weekly days, things that I need to do. And I'm going to use some of it as part journal, part to-do list, and it's just going to really hopefully serve my purpose for this month. I actually think it's too much. I probably could have done it all in 2 pages, but you know me, I like to be artistic. So now that I have that first 2-page spread done, the next 2 I will showcase in next month's video. We are going to actually jump ahead and do the brain dump page, which is something new for me. It's something I've been wanting to do for quite a while, because I really just kind of need a page for me to spill out maybe drawings or a plan for videos or a plan for whatever it is that I have going on in life. And I really truly need this page. This page I thought would be great to face my habit tracker, which I'm doing a combination habit tracker / mood tracker. I'm keeping it simple, doing a quintessential kind of scene from Paris, which is all those beautiful bridges. I didn't want to overdo it. I did that on one of my other 2-page spreads, which you will see in detail. And I kind of did a wrought iron bridge and a stone bridge because I just love bridges. I love walkways and bridges and so much of Europe. So here you can see I kept it really simple, and as same thing, even my habit tracker, that's straightforward, and my print. And I love my print. I have different kinds of ways of print, but you know, it's just nice, clean print. So I've got that mood tracker on one side, habit tracker on the other. I decided, you know, this is going to be a little new for me, so I'm just going straight down top to bottom. And I've changed it up when I'm tracking. You know, I'm also using a new product by Ever Skincare, and so for me, taking care of my face daily, morning and night, all of a sudden is very important to me. So it's going on my habit tracker. To find more information about that, I'll pop a link in the section below. And, you know, just really kind of some of the same things that I've been tracking. I've kind of gotten my list down. Adding learn at the bottom is something that's really important to me. Making sure that I'm learning something new constantly. And, you know, just keeping track of my moods too. I just want to see, and the mood tracker I'm not going to do as detailed as the one on the left. I'm just going to do simple little dots and probably, you know, make like a little grid and kind of connect those and see how they go. But, you know, I really do value the habit trackers. I've been very good and very diligent about filling them out, and it has really helped me, quite honestly. So now if I can just do the expense tracker as well, that would be good. But since I'm going to be doing some traveling, I'm not really sure I want to look at my expenses. I probably should. So here's a quick flip through, and I did this at regular speed for you. You can see here we've got, it's just nice and clean, and I think that's kind of my motto for the month. Keeping it clean, having a little bit of artsy flair. You can see what difference the pencil makes from the right to the left there. And here you can kind of get a glimpse into those other pages. There's a great story that goes along with one of them. And, you know, maybe I'll do a video on that. I'm not really sure. Maybe I will. We'll see. You'll have to tell me in the comment section if you're interested. And the brain dump. And oh my gosh, did I just give you a sneak peek of March? Loving those layouts. I drew a ton of flowers, and let me tell you, they are pretty good. So I'm excited about those. So thanks so much for joining me. Here are some great close-ups for you. I really appreciate you spending the time to watch this video. Definitely give me a thumbs up if you like that. It tells YouTube that you want to see more of my content. I've got some links here at the end for you to click if you're interested in any of the supplies that I use. I have some links below. Definitely check those out as well. And if you have any questions or comments, leave me a comment. I answer you. Definitely. I really believe in the community. I've got a community tab and gonna probably, you know what, I'll post the photos of those other spreads there on the community tab. So you'll have to check that out, you know, in the coming weeks. And definitely follow me on Instagram. I've got a lot of really great stuff coming up. And as well as here, if you're not subscribed, definitely click the subscribe button as well as that notification bell. So hope to see you again sometime soon, and till next time, bye.